First of all, I would like to appreciate the conference organizer for allowing me to be here to share a couple of thoughts about some nutraceutical or egg nutrition impact on human health. How we can look into in different, how we can look the same picture in different domains to have a better analysis of the same product. And I'm obliged for that. I was given an opportunity to be here to present you guys, and I welcome everybody who is listening and watching this presentation. So the topic of my presentation is tailoring feed chemistry to synchronize healthier egg profile, evaluated tool to enhance desired nutrient index. Every one of us is well familiar with the nutrient profile and the egg, role of egg as a nutrient food in day-to-day life. Egg is a naturally nutrient-rich container. It has a lot of nutrients in the different proportions. There was a time when it used to be said that it's a perfect diet, but it's not the way it is, because the way things are opening up in the avenues of human nutrition. But still, this is a very valuable food item, especially in the developing countries and even in developed countries. It has a lot of vitamins, both wet soluble vitamins, micronutrients, trace minerals, and carbohydrates and proteins. If we look at the bifurcation of its albumin as well as its yolk, as you can see, the egg white mainly about 88% is water, and the rest is containing some protein in a really decent amount, and minerals are in less proportion in this part, right? Contrary to the egg yolk, if you see, it says it has a better ash contents as well as the protein contents as well compared to egg white. So both of them, they are naturally bound together in a way that you can use them in one go, or as a whole egg, or as a separated. Both forms are available in the market. But one thing that I would say that distinguishes this nutrient, this egg nutritional aspects of the minerals and the nutrients, is the bioavailability of the nutrients. That the bioavailability of the nutrients in this from this naturally nutrient-rich container is quite high, right from trace minerals to the macronutrients. Sorry. If we just have a look on impact of egg on egg eating and human anatomy, so it gives us different perspectives. You know, there are a few. If we do a sort of meta-analysis, we'll come to know that there are different school of thoughts are there. So as a result of different research, they sometimes are contrary, uh, and and different results have been, I have just tried to portray it in green, red, and blue and yellow form, but I will try to highlight on the red one, which is more, closer to health concerns like heart failure, if you can see, cardiovascular diseases, blood profile, blood lipid profiles, and gastrointestinal neoplasmas, the ratio of cholesterol to the high density lipoprotein, the humans. So all these are the concerns, or have been the concerns that have been blamed to different reasons. And one of the reason is eating dietary cholesterol, high cholesterol egg. So uh, if I look at the nutrition-related deaths, I would come to know that almost about lack of essential fatty acids, which is also a type of fat, is ranked as a sixth major cause of nutrition-related death even in US. And if you look at, you can see that this nutrition-related death causes are more severe in age about 50 to 69 years, but it is dangerously very high among the people which are above 70. So the concentration of the quantity of omega-3 fatty acids, which is one of the vital essential fatty acids body needed, to perform multiple functions, is one of the leading cause of nutrition-related death in the US. On the contrary, if we take another perspective of the death, you can see that the 10 leading causes of death in the US is top one is heart. And anything that is directly or indirectly is linking heart uh, issues or heart disease, causing heart predisposing factors to heart disease becomes very important. And in that context, somehow the studies has projected some way that the eating too much egg is also one of the reasons of causing this heart disease. If you look at the US population and some statistics, you can see that about 116 million or 46% of US adults are estimated to have hypertension. Another perspective is 1 in 5 adults, or 22% American adults reported receiving adequate leisure. They are reported they are not having enough time to complete that. And 1 out of 6 males and 1 out of 7 females. You can say that are smokers, and these smokers are sort of become the predisposing factor uh, for any sort of disease, especially CVD, cardiovascular disease. And one thing more, and this by 2035, more than 130 million adults, or 45% of the US population, seems to be somehow engaged in somewhere cardiovascular diseases, and the cost of cardiovascular diseases is quite high. So prevention is always better than cure. This sort of presentation, this data projects the omega index concentration as well as the level of risk that US and the Japanese may have as far as acute coronary syndrome or major depression disorder is concerned. So you can see that US people are ranging in a medium risk level by having a 5.7% of omega 3 index compared to the Japanese, whereas at low risk due to better nutrition. So objective of saying this is that egg is a natural nutrient container. So though, if there is an opportunity that we can play with it, through dietary manipulation, if we can change its nutrient content, yes, there's a big room for that. And keeping in view, if we can use that, so we can reduce its cholesterol contents, we can improve its fatty acid profile, we can improve its vitamin E, B, folic acid, we can have a better mineral profile, we can have a better carotenoids, we can have a better herbal enriched egg. Having more healthier contents, having healthier contents will reduce the chances of having some cardiovascular diseases or health concerns, which are attributed mainly because of its high cholesterol contents. So in that context, if we look into that, it becomes a sort of nutraceutical effect. The nutraceutical is a substance that is considered as a food or its part, which in addition to its normal nutritional value provides health benefits, including the prevention of disease or promotion of health. So, as you can see, the impact of these nutraceuticals is overlaying between the nutrition as well as pharmaceuticals. So, and if we look into the nutraceutical categories, there are different categories, mainly nutrients from herbals and dietary supplementations. They all have their own impact. But once we were determining to use any sort of nutraceutical, we need to be very objective oriented. Omega 3 is one of the essential fatty acids, and it's very vital to perform different vital functions in the body. Just highlighting in that context because normal omega 3 concentration is not that high. That can help, but we can increase its level to a great extent. Increasing its concentration will reduce overall cholesterol contents to a great extent. Like you can reduce about 25% saturated fatty acids to a regular egg by manipulating the feed. So I'm just more focusing on the omega 3 fatty acids. that how does it work and how we can help. We can use this. We can use the feed as an ingredient to modify the nutrient supply to the human, to the eggs through feed, and ultimately the nutrient content of the shell eggs. So omega-3 fatty acids, triglycerides, high esters, once after ingestion, they are, further converted into phospholipids, emulsification phenomena happens ultimately to small intestine. They go to in the form of chylomicrons, that becomes a part of circulation, blood vessels, help in tissue integration and membrane integration of vital organs like liver and heart. Omega-3 functions perform numerous multiple functions with its association with the brain, with the heart, with the eyes, with the liver, with the intestines, and with the cardiovascular diseases by decreasing the cholesterol, helps in the brain by reducing the depression, helps the cardiovascular by reducing the blood pressure, in eyes, it reserve dry eye and age-related, eye disorders like cataracts. It reduces that. And likewise, in hepatic, regulates the hepatic lipid metabolism, adipose tissue function, and inflammation. Absorption of omega-3 that is in human body, as I said, mycelium, the small intestines, then they are distributed to different forms. After hydrolysis, phospholipids, they go to a small portion. And ultimate end of this is they reaches to the heart, liver, adipose tissues, brain, and the retina, where they perform vital important functions. Likewise, adequate concentration of omega-3 fatty acid helps reduce the hypertension concerns of the health in human body, and to improve by improving the flow of mediated dilation, reduces ROX, it reduces oxidative stress, it reduces inflammation, platelet activity, main all these are directly or indirectly improving the health status of your cardiovascular system. And mainly the omega-3 has impact on the liver, vessels, and platelets. And by working on that, it helps to reduce the platelet aggregation, but improve the blood biology at the same time. It reduces triglycerides, at the same time reduces inflammation in the vessels. So they help in plaque stabilization, overall, if you look into improving the mitochondrial function lead towards overall this makes a sort of profile which reduces, which protects the cardiovascular diseases. So in this regard, the different ways and means of method or mechanisms have been proposed that how does it work. Primarily, we look into, it has been noticed that having a significant reduction in the cholesterol and triglycerides and blood pressure, it helps to improve the overall semen lipoprotein, and to which every, you can say, the positive impact of omega-3 fatty acid can be attributed to. At the same time, if you look into the membrane fatty acid release over there, and its bioconversion to oxalic an acute effect. If you compare it with having a sort of fatty acids, omega-3 fatty acids, ultimately it ends into anti-inflammatory oxalipars, that leads towards health, heart prevention. Contrary to if the omega-3 is not there, then it increases the risk of long-term events. Omega-3 has an important aspect in preventing the cancer carcinoma by reducing the vascular endothelial growth factors, by reducing the platelet-derived growth factors, and overall by reducing the angiogenesis. In this phenomena, it is a sort of proactive approach of reducing the cancers. In the stemmer, it helps in the if you see in the inhibition of the tumor blood vessels, due to which there is a regression of tumor necrosis, and ultimately it is being used as a cancer therapy. omega-3 fatty acid reduces the cancer by uh, uh, through acting as anti angiogenesis factor or pro angiogenesis factor by reducing the chances of that. So if you see normal tumor formation phenomena and anti-angiogenesis therapy, it ultimately cuts down the size and ultimately tends the body to have towards normalization through better efficiency of chemotherapy. Omega-3, the different studies have resulted in different phenomena. So, but in the total, if you look into the immunosuppressive tumor microenvironment, is how is this abnormal immunosuppressive tumor microenvironment is getting better in this tumor oxygenation phenomena, you know, to have that low dose anti geogenic trophy to have a normal one. So this is how does this omega-3 help to cut down the cancer and bring the thing to a normal level. And this profile indicates a sort of omega-3 and adicosahexaenoic acid, eicosapentaenoic acid effect on the muscle protein synthesis MPS at different stages of lifespan. And if you can see that as we have enough omega-3 fatty acids, it has a better profile overall. If you see the muscle disuse therapy, if you look into the information like in young, healthy adults, metabolic, you can see the muscle protein synthesis, you know, and inflammation, it does not impact too much in that. But at the same time, once you get towards aging, the metabolic protein synthesis, it helps to increase at that time. Likewise, in the pre and post surgery, this metabolic protein synthesis phenomena, it helps to promote that, and reduces the inflammation. So these are different attributes of omega-3 fatty acids that it impacts on human body as at different ages and in different circumstances. Omega-3 and cardio protective action is also there. I mean, if this is a sort of glimpse that omega-3 fatty acids, by impacting the nuclear receptors, also influence the overall cardiovascular protective proteins, and that is important in context when uh, high cholesterol is there and essential fatty acid or fatty acid profile is not good enough to maintain that nuclear receptor activity in absence of this essential fatty acid or omega-3 functions. Omega-3 fatty acids primarily is killing the three different spots, as you can see, the fatty acids uh, and oxidative stress and neurogenomics. And the fatty acid, it has a relation or in proportion or ratio with omega-3 fatty acid consumption can lead to dietary imbalance in the cell. Omega-3 and antioxidants neutralize the free radicals, they act as a scavenger of free radicals that is acted directly as anti-aging, nutraceutical. Nutrigenomics studies show that it has a positive impact on gene expression. How does gene can express in the type of phenotypes? Likewise, the same container of egg, it has a calcium in it, it has a vitamin D in it. So we can fluctuate the vitamin D concentration by increasing the vitamin D in the diet. And once it is in the diet, it goes up in the blood, it will go up. There will be more room for the calcium, for the vitamin D to be in the egg container. So its concentration has been reduced manifold compared to natural. And this is in context of synchronizing these nutrients for people who has issues with their bones or there is a less calcification phenomena. So this profile indicates actually the calcium metabolism, how does the calcium is absorbed, how much is taken, how much is in the stool, how much goes up. And this circulation phenomena keeps up, bone, kidneys, liver, the intestines absorption, they keep the calcium active in a certain amount in the blood that is required to perform different physiological functions. So calcium itself, if vitamin D is there, then it will be absorbed under the influence of parathyroid hormones. But if calcium is there, vitamin D is not there, it will not be better absorption. This parathyroid hormone can do better in absorption of calcium when vitamin D is there. So stronger bone can be obtained by having a little bit higher concentration of vitamin D in a natural container, which certainly also improves the overall vitamin D availability for the people who are more prone towards osteoporosis, to softening of bones, or toward at elderly ages, so it becomes more important in that aspect. And high bioavailability of calcium and vitamin D in this natural container is one of the very important aspects. This couple of pictures indicates, this is a normal bone, how does it look like? This is a normal bone. It's quite strength. Look at its fibrils, calcium fibrils, they're strong compared to osteoporosis bone, which is softened inside because of less calcium deposition due to less calcium availability in the blood, and, you know, uh, generalizing that. Likewise, if you look into the expect impact of this improved egg phenomena on human health, you can see that enriched omega-3 has impact on on a cholesterol concentration by reducing the significant concentration, you know, significant concentration impacting on the norm compared to the normal egg, and likewise in the triglycerides, you can see there is a decreasing trend in triglyceride, but at the same time significant reduction in omega-3 and normal egg concentration. Likewise, if you look into the diastolic look and diastolic blood pressure, it also goes down compared to a normal egg eater, and compared to the group of people who has been given omega-3 rich eggs for a period of 5 weeks. This study on human has recently been published. It is luckily, this is one of my friends' studies group who executed. So now the perception is getting changed because lately, according to the recent review of meta-analysis, if you're eating one a day, today's is about a stroke chance is about 12%. The big achievement. This actually slide presents a sort of a brief presentation that hen can produce the egg you are feeding to hen. If you're feeding to him a better cholesterol diet to make it, yes, it can be done. If it is a low omega-3 fatty acid, yes, it is. If it is low vitamin E, yes. If it is less antioxidant, yes. But you have to play with your dietary nutrients in a way that you need an egg that has rich in lutein, that is rich in omega-3, vitamin E, selenium, and that ultimately makes this a good food, a healthier food for different classes of animals. This is a sort of a nexus that can actually provides whatever he gets from the diet. It first maintains its nutrient requirement for maintenance, then the rest goes for the production. So if we will not be providing the nutrients for this, it's just for its production or expecting, so we will not be able to harvest the benefits. So budgeting the nutrients while formulating the feed is a key to formulate and have that high concentration of omega-3 fatty acids into. And there are multiple options available to make this egg content a healthier egg nutrient profile, like cinnamon, garlic, avocados, green tea. Their active contents are available. We can use that to improve the nutraceutical or beneficial health effects of the egg. And this studies gives you an idea that the onion, garlic, sugar beet, citrus pepper, there are a lot of other spices are available that you can make feed the hen bird and will have its impact on egg composition, and then how does the egg composition have changed the health profile of the human beings. That's very important in that context. Not all of this has been tested, but it opens an avenue. What my concern of bottom line of this presentation is that nutrients, there is a way, like say for instance in developing countries, we are nutrient deficient, okay, that's fine. So under that circumstances, the cholesterol gives you some energy and nutrient others are available. There might be a less concern, but a time will come when they will also get more used to that and there is less option of food. Here, if you look into the developed countries, their eggs are the normal, food items in day-to-day life. And if this egg is having a rich diet, a rich nutrients in diet, then it will impact on your health. As I have just explained you about the omega-3 fatty acids, that it can bring a mega change in your health through manipulating the dietary manipulation into the chicken feed. So my concern here is to tell you that this egg will give you a natural opportunity that we can convert this food into a medicine. Like as I just explained, having a better vitamin D, improves your bone. Having a better lutein improves your vision. Having a better omega-3 improves your health, cardiovascular diseases, improves your health, stress, reduces your stress, improves your brain function. So I'm of the view that let it's a time that when this container should be the full um, function of this container should be explored, and we should recall the saying of Hippocrates, who was the father of medicine, that our food should be our medicine and our medicine should be our food. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, so I'm available.